Hey everyone, hope you are doing awesome. Welcome back to my channel Pegahut with another video. Thanks everyone for subscribing to my channel, and if you haven't hit the bell icon yet, please do so you won't miss any of my videos. Please hit the like button or leave me a feedback or comment if you like the video or the way I have explained. Today we are going to learn hands-on about how to use node level database with a real-time scenario. I would strongly recommend to watch my database introduction and database thread level use case videos before you proceed with this video. I would provide the link in the description, or you can find the same by going to my channel. By now, I believe you would have imported the zip file and have finished the hands-on that I have covered in the database thread level videos, and you know about the use case. So I won't spend time explaining the use case again over here. Today's video is a continuous of the previous, wherein we are going to do hands-on on the node level database. So without doing any further delay, let's get into it. Now let's go to the second step. So let me put 1, 2, 3 here just to get the detail. Now when I do continue, what will happen? What I actually have done is in so this is a table. So you can add multiple items like this. You can add multiple items, and so what I want is I mean, let's say obviously I don't want to enter the item name, right? Obviously, there is a chance that it can potentially be a wrong spelling and all, and then you won't get to know what item and all. So I want it to be a drop down, and I want it to be fetched by a database. Okay, and the item name. So you think about a supermarket, right? So all the item that they have, it is not going to change overnight, right? So they are not going to add, unless it is a new one. I'm a new store. If it is an existing store, they have a specific item, and they can only add item on a once in a few days. It's not going to be every day. So you, and also you create any number of cases, right? Let's say you create case for employee ID 123, or sorry, staff ID 123, or you case for 456. The items are going to be same. So that means that item details will be shared across the case. So in this scenario, I got two options. One is requester level and another one is node level. Now here, should I be using requester level? Because you would only use the requester level if the item specific to the employee who is creating the case, operator who is creating the case, right? Because that's how requester session works. But here the item is not specific to an operator, right? The item is specific to a supermarket, an organization. So in this kind of scenario, your database has to be a node level database so that it can be shared across. And then obviously whenever there is a new item introduced, you are going to delete that, clear the first the database, and you're going to load a fresh one. Now now I hope you understand that my database is going to be a node level database. Now how to use that? So here, this all item name, if I would show you, I've actually kept in a proper. So this is the table. I'll just show you the table. So this is the section. Let me open the section first. So here, how I have designed is, I've created a table, and in my table, what I have done is I've given the pages property called order detail. Let me quickly see if my tester is on. Okay, good. So in my the list and group, which the context which I've given is order detail, which is a page list property, like I've explained, because I want to keep more than one order. Now here I have given all the item name, every detail. Again, all the order. What I want or what I'm going to plan is, now here I'm going to get the item name and the unit price in the local data storage. Because see, again the same thing. When we have an item, the price is not going to change overnight. That is also going to be there for long. So it's okay to be part of the node level database, right? That's how I'm going to design. Now quantity, obviously it's a user input. I cannot decide the quantity for user, obviously. So that's why it's going to be user input. And total price, I have actually created declare expression. So depending on the quantity and the unit price is going to auto calculate over here. Now to do that, what I need to do is, first I need to have the local data storage, or need to design the data type for order detail. Now here in my order detail case, what I'm going to do is, I'll again the same way, I'll go and do view in data designer, right? Now the moment I do view in data designer, you see item name, quantity, total price and unit price, or the property that I've created. And if you realize that total price is actually a calculated read only. So if I open the order detail, So I'll just show you the declare expression also so that you understand. So if you see, the total price has been calculated, and the total price is nothing but the unit quantity into the unit price. So that's how it's got calculated. So I've created that just to be in the safer side. Now if I go to record, now here if I go to configure source, so here what I am going to do is I'm going to okay, so I'm going to make the item name as my primary key, because obviously you cannot have the item with the same name, right? So I'm gonna have the item name as primary key, and here I'm gonna so I'm going to delete this quantity because that's a user input. I don't want it to be stored, and I'm going to delete also the total price because all I need is item name and unit price. Now if you see, if I do submit, right, so it's created, right? All good, no problem in that. Now if I do save, and I'll add a record. Now what in my mind, I've just have 4 to 5 items. So what I'm going to do is I'll put chips, let's say 20, and then I'll add another record. So if you see, there is some error came when the screen flickered, and when I saved, it is gone, right? The reason behind is because I have only used these two property, and there is no blob column in the database. That's the reason why Pega has complained saying that it cannot save. So to avoid that, what I did is I've just quickly optimized the other two properties. So there are two ways that you can avoid that. One is you can put all the column here. So Pega will automatically create the column in the respective database table. If not, what you can do is you can optimize these two property. So do that. For this video to continue, you can do optimize for reporting, okay, and you click on next and then finish. Similarly, you do the same thing to total price. You do optimize for reporting, you click on next and finish. I'm not going to explain that more detail about it because obviously I don't want to deviate from the plan, but just on a very 2 minute description, because I've just created two property, and as this database can, or as this data type has got 4 property in that particular data model, the way I have created. So Pega was like, I cannot save this to other property, so that's why it needed a column or at least a blob. Now what, just to satisfy, I have created the column inside the table by doing a optimize for reporting purpose. Okay, I hope that is clear. Now let's go ahead and add all the other property. Popcorn, let's say like 50, and then I'll add another record. Ice cream, let's say 85. So yeah, I'm just gonna add these 3 and then we'll proceed further, right? Now I have got this. Now if I go to usage, so I've created one order detail on 1 and order detail list 2, right? Now let me quickly run this order detail 1. So this is a page database, and here the scope is thread. Now if I do action and run, now here what I did, so if I pass, so what is my primary key? My item name is the primary key. Now let's say if I pass item name as chips, so I'm gonna get the unit price as 20, right? Now I go to order detail 1. Now here what I'm going to do is okay, hang on just a second, let me quickly go to data designer, and I'll also show you that list. So in the list, if I execute the list, what it's going to happen is it's going to give me all the data that we have in the particular database, right? Or in the local data storage. Now if I do run here, if I do plus all instance and I'll do run, so what will happen basically in the px result, so there will be 3 results, and each result will have its own entry of the data storage, whatever I have put chips 20 and ice cream 85, like that, right? I'll take a moment to explain about this database, how it works. So if you guys could see, this database has got a source called report definition. Now this report definition is responsible to fetch all the data. So if I would open this report definition, basically this is the OOTB report definition which has already created the moment you create a data type. That's the name. The name is data table editor report. Now if you see, if I just do action and run and see the result, so you will see all the entry that I have created in the data table is going to be part of this report definition. So basically, when you refer this database, this database goes to this report definition, fetch all the record, and store them in px result, and depending on the scope, it stores in the clipboard page and then access all the details for your application to process. Now let's okay, before integrating, what I told, I want this data page to be a node level database. Now if I change this data page to be node level database and do a save, obviously it's going to throw me an error. Why? Because I need obviously access group. Now to give the access group, what I need to do is, what you need to do is, you click on here, go to access group, just give the admin access group, okay, just so that it will get the context for this video. So give the admin access group and do save, right? Now let's integrate this order detail list into our section. Now to integrate this order detail into our section, let me first go quickly to XYZ LearnDPages -work -order detail. Underneath I have got a section called collect order. Now what I need to do is, first thing first, I need to convert this text field to a drop down, because what I'm going to do is, I'm going to get that in a drop down, all the item in a drop down. Now in drop down, let me put a include a placeholder called select, like that, okay, so that I want to see that first, and then I click on the drop down, and here I've got 4 options. One is as defined on property, another one is database, clipboard page, and report definition. Now when you're gonna use as defined on property, if you would have seen my older video where if I open this property, there is a table title, local list, field value, all this thing I can define, right? If you have defined something here, then you're gonna use is defined by property. But here I haven't used there. I wanted to get this from database. Now you might be thinking when to use this one. So when to use clipboard page, if you have stored those values in the clipboard page. But for me, it's unnecessary waste of memory, right? Because I don't want to use that as part of a case type. So when I say clipboard page, I don't want to store them as part of my PYOR page, because it is unnecessary and there will be unnecessary memory, right? Now report definition, I could use report definition, but why didn't I do? Because if you see technically, if you see this order detail, or no, so order detail list, right? Let me order details list, right? So if you see, if you notice, eventually it's calling the report definition. But you must be thinking, why can't I use the report definition directly? See, if you use report definition here, the problem with this one is, like, every time you click on this select or click on this drop down, it will go and execute that directly from database. So that's a waste of memory and time, right? I don't want that. I want only it to execute on a one time for the node, and then I can reuse. That's the reason why I'm going with the database. Now database, put the database name here. So this is also called reference pattern. I'm gonna anyway create another video for cascading reference pattern. So but yeah, this is the pattern. The way I'm using the database is called reference pattern. Now here in the property, what I'm going to do is item name. All right, awesome. So this is done, right? And also I'm going to change a little bit over here. So here what I have done is, I've actually, in the operation tab, I say row always edit, I say click on row to edit, but I'm going to change it to row always editable, so that it will be there always for me instead of me clicking there. All right, so all good. Now let me create a save and run. All right, now here I'll put 1 2 3. I'll do continue. Before that, I will see the tracer. Now here I'll do continue. All right, yeah, turn on the tracer. That's why it's little slow. All right, now here I put one add item. Now if you see add item, you got all the detail, right? Now let's see how it got executed. All right, now here if I pause it for a while, and you see d underscore order detail list 1, right? Now here if you see, when it refer for the first time, database load begin, right? Now database loading in node scope. Then it loaded everything, okay, and once it is end over here, now I got all the detail, right? All the detail that I have got. So basically if you see px result, and I go to and show you, see all the three entry that I have got. I've got unit price 20 for chips, and ice cream 85, and popcorn 50. So you saw that. Now I'm going to show you another thing, so you would understand how the NodeDB database helps you not to load again and again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create another case. Now here I'm going to create another case, and here I'll say 1 2 3, right? Now I get this, it is thread, obviously is gonna load. I have turned on the tracer behind, and now I'm going to continue. All right, now if I click on add item, you see the item name came over here. Now let's see whether it loaded or not. So if I now go d_order list, see what happened. Because the database has been loaded, now here this case ID is 0-8004, this case ID is 0-O-8005. But because it's a NodeDB database, what happened if I the moment it found this database being referred, and it is already loaded once, it's not going to load it again. That's the reason why you see database instance found, it's fresh. That's the reason why it didn't load for you. So that's the beauty of a NodeDB database. So now I have got the detail. Now let's implement the other detail to be populating over here, right? Now to populate, right, you go to the section here, okay. Here on chains, I'm going to call a data transform which will do the job. So here on chains, what I'm going to do is, don't do refresh first and call the data transform here. I'll tell you why. But instead, first do one thing. First do a post value, okay. Second thing, what you need to do is, you need to do a run data transform, okay. In the run data transform, you call let's say fetch order detail, right? Fetch order detail. Now I'll show you why. So if you see this data transform, the moment I click on this, so this is a table, right? Now, and I told per order detail, order list, right? Let's say I can have more than one order, right? So I am putting a on chains per row, right? So I need to define, so I need the context during runtime to know that whether I'm doing it for order one, or so let's say if I have multiple item, if I change chips here, that means I should get the unit price for chips. If I change ice cream here, that means I should get the unit price for ice cream. So to do that, I need the data transform to execute in this particular context. In this particular context means technically what I say, order detail dot item number 1, right? So because of that, why I told you to go for run data transform and do a fetch order detail, because if you see I create a data transform here, right? So you see the class automatically Pega would determine that it is XYZ LearnDPages -data -order detail. Now, but if you would do a refresh section, one second, yeah, if you would do a add an action refresh, then what will happen is, because this section belongs to work class, right? Automatically the data transform which refresh section will expect is the data transform which refresh section in this particular position will be created in the work layer, because refresh this section cannot access the data class of the data layer, because the entire section is created in the work layer. That's the reason. Now if I create a data transform in the work layer here, it is hard for me to execute for each order, right? Then the lot of coding I need to do, and check which order, which row number, all these things, which doesn't make sense. So that Pega handles in smart way, and to Pega handle in smart way, you need to specifically call the run data transform and call the data transform. Now why we have put post value? Now in refresh this section, what generally happens is, all the value that you put on the screen will go and store in the clipboard page, and then it execute the data transform, then it reload the section, refresh with the new value. But in run data transform, it's just going to execute the run data transform. So that means so for example, if I choose chips, right? So Pega will not know, because when it run the data transform, it will try to get the value from clipboard. But because this value wouldn't have stored in the clipboard, then the item name will go as blank. Because of that, post value is going to help me. Where is my section? Post value is going to help me to store that value into the clipboard page. That's why I have put post value followed by run data transform to execute this data transform in the same context, followed by refresh this section to refresh the unit price, right? I hope this is clear. Now let's do a submit for this one. Oh, okay, because I haven't obviously stored this database. So let's create this data transform, fetch order detail. I'll do a comment, I'll do a save, and then I'll come to collect order, I'll do a submit. Now it will happily submit, right? I hope this is like you got this one. So now if I go order detail, sorry, I'll just close everything again, not to confuse. Now here, where I'm getting the detail from, I'm getting the detail from my order list, right? So if you remember, in the drop down, where I'm getting the detail from, I'm getting the detail from d underscore order detail list. But here, when I want the unit price of a particular item, that means I need to use the one which is there in the page structure, where I can pass the item name and get the price. Now in this regard, I'm going to use this one. As I told, that price of an item is also going to be a node level database, because it's not going to change overnight, or it's not going to change every minute. It's not dependent on a case type. If you order a if you are ordering a chip chips which is $20 20 rupees, and another customer order chips, it's going to be 20 rupees only, so it's not going to change. So that's the reason we need to create this database also as node level scope. And obviously the moment you save it, it's gonna complain about the access group. You just give the same access group for you give the author one, which is kind of an administrator access group, right? So this is clear. Now here I'll save it, and again I'll close it. Now in this data transform, what I'm going to do is I'll say set, again the same context which I have already explained. Now when I click or select this chips, that means Pega would already be in this context, wherein it will say, okay, order detail, my item number 1, okay, during that context. Now I'll show you that also in the clipboard in a while, sorry, in the tracer in a while. So let's quickly go and get the order detail list. Sorry, my bad, order detail, right? I think this is the order detail. Okay, I'll say order detail, and in page and class I'll just define the order detail. This is list, but they belongs to same class, so I'm just going to put the same class, and I'll do a save. Obviously it's going to throw me an error. Now in this order detail, again what it takes, it's taking the item name, right? So I'm going to copy the item name quickly here, item name, and I'm going to paste that in here. Now here, so I'll show you the parameter, the value. I'll show you how to pass it, which you already know. But here what I'm going to do is, all I need to do is I need to map the unit price here, right? Because that's what I need. Now here in item name, as I've already shown you before, here what I need to do is dot item name, because it will be in the same context. Here I'll say param dot item name, and I'm going to use the same property here, so that I'll get the unit price, and I'm going to store in the unit price of this particular item, particular order. So you write this. Okay, what is this invalid expression? Let's quickly have a look. The order detail, item name, param dot. Okay, I think I have put twice, I guess. Let's quickly have a look. I'll only put it on declarative. Okay, I made it as a capital one, sorry, small one. That's the reason why it is given. So let me just quickly get the proper one. So I'll say this, and I will put instead. And in the page and class also, yeah, I put a small d. That's the reason. Right. All right. All good. I hope this is clear. Now I save this one. Now if I go collect order, I'll do not collect order. Yes, collect order also I'll save it just to make sure. Now here I'll just quickly refresh it to make instead of creating another case, I'll just quickly refresh it. Now here if you see, let me turn on the data tracer in the background to make sure I have got the detail. Now here if I see, I'll say chips, right? What you can see, can you see that 20 automatically came? Now if I, okay, the database there, if I do ice cream, I got 85. if I got, okay, so you got chips and ice cream, you saw, right? Let's quickly see. So the data transform name is fetch order detail, right? So if you see, I can come all the way where I have chosen chips first. So what happened? So if you could see, the data transform is in the order detail, right? When I clicked on the first one, you see py work page dot order detail 1, because like I told, Pega, the way I have created, Pega has already taken the context of 1, so I don't need to have the headache of parsing that manually. Now it took the context of 1. That's the reason why you see the item name, param.type item name. If I click on this and go to parameter page, now if you see, the param.item name went as chips, and that's the reason why I could able to get the order detail as 20. But if you see this d underscore order detail, it has executed for the first time. That's why loading in node scope, and it loaded, and by the time it came, it has got 20 as unit price, and then I got the unit price with me, along with me. The same has happened when I have chosen ice cream. Now if I choose chips, technically what should have been happened? Ideally, the chips, because it's a node level database, I was just going to pause it. Okay, if I choose chips here in the drop down, from the drop down, what should happen? Because it's a node level database, ideally the chips should not have loaded it again. Let's see whether it's happening or not. Now let me play over here. Choose chips again. So if I choose chips, because it's a node level, technically it should not have loaded. Let's see whether it's loaded or not. Now here, if you see, in the fetch order detail, the moment it saw d underscore order detail 1, it's again loading in the node scope. Now technically, ideally it should not load, because obviously it's already been loaded. Ideally I should have used directly from the clipboard. Now why is that? Now let's quickly understand that. Now if you open the clipboard, right, what you can do is, you go to database, go to node, and then see the order detail. Now in the order detail, if you notice one thing, I could only have one order or one row for that order detail, and that is chips. Now you'd be thinking, where is the ice cream gone? Because it's a node level, it has loaded. Where is gone? So this is where when I explained in the introduction section, in the load management tab, we have something called limit to a single database, right? You need to uncheck that. As you know that you can have more than one database for that particular this one, you need to uncheck that. Now let's see the magic, because I have done uncheck. So let's say if I add another item and I do ice cream, obviously it's going to load again, no wonder. But now if I go now clipboard here, and again I go to database, and I go to node level database, now because I am no more limiting that to a single database, that's the reason why you could see here. Okay, for some reason I don't know why it is looking like that, but yeah, let's have this. Maybe I need to quickly refresh it. Let's quickly refresh it. Okay, so now if I go to clipboard, technically I should have two thread. Okay, sorry, not thread, sorry, node. So technically in the order detail, okay, two thread, but here I've got one ice cream. Now let's add another one, which is chips. So that means if I go to clipboard, I should have got another one, which I'll be going node, and now I have got two more. Yeah, see, I've got two more. Now if I choose ice cream or chips among one of them, then definitely my my data should not be refreshed from the backend. So let me turn on the tracer here in the background. Let me choose a quick ice cream or chips, anything you like. Then here, if I go fetch load database, so you could see, okay, you could see now the database instance found, and database instance is fresh. So that's how the limit to single page is working. I hope this is clear. Now everywhere, if I put, so let me quickly delete all the rows, only keep 2 or 3. Let me put popcorn here. Now here, if I put quantity as 1, automatically my total price should be calculated. If I put my quantity as 3, automatically my total price should be calculated. But my total price is not been calculated. Now why is that? Because we haven't refreshed this section. That's the reason. So to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a live UI here, and I'll just go to that particular section. Now here, here I'll put a action and event. So let's go with the standard one. Because it's inherited from the property. If it is like text or something, you wouldn't get this option. So here I'll say on change. I'll just say refresh this section. That's all I need, right? On change, refresh this section. Now let's have a quick look whether my details are being calculated or not. Now if I just do a refresh, and if I do a quantity as 1, and if I go out, click on out, so my detail has been calculated, and it became 20. If I put 2, it will be 40. If I put 3, it will be 85 into 3, 255. If I put 2, it will be 100. I hope my NodeAware database concepts explanations are clear to you guys. So and you know when you are going to use the NodeAware database. That's it for today, and hope you understood clearly. Please hit the like button if you learned something or you like the way I have explained, and leave me a comment if you have any queries or feedback for me. It will help me to improve and also motivate me to post more concepts and videos. As I always tell, sharing is caring, so do share with others so people who do not know about my channel will be benefited. Stay tuned for my next video, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do subscribe and click on the bell notification for my new video updates. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.